Hi, welcome to Stereo-Atypical. I'm your host, Michelle, and this is
Alyssa.
my wonderful co-host. So we decided today to do a little bit of a Q&A, but friendship version, just to get to know us a little bit better, and honestly, it was just really fun. So we decided to make a podcast about it. Do you want to go first, or should I start out?
Well, first off, I'd like to apologize for our absentee bit last week. I was on vacation with my boyfriend in Antigua, and it was so fun and romantic and lovely, and then I had to come back to work this week, and I was like, what do you mean?
It's not the worst, like, after a vacation, having to go back to work.
Oh, and it was so nice. We were there for, it was a Saturday to a Saturday, guys. It was so nice. And then we had to come back, and I was like, what? But anyway, that's why we were absent, but we're back. And
very true. Did you have anything else to share about your week or the last couple weeks?
I mean, the vacation is the most exciting thing that has happened because I've never been out of the country. So that was my first time out of the country. Woo. First time on a vacation with a boyfriend.
Yeah.
With a lover, if you will. And everyone and their mom thought we were on our honeymoon or married. And it was so funny. And if we weren't thinking about marriage, we are now. Because they have implanted a seed. I was like, our taxi driver, on literally the first day we took a taxi somewhere, he was like, so, how long you guys been married? How many kids? And we were like, no. You don't. But I know what he wants to name our daughter. Or his daughter. So
you guys are so cute. Like, I got to see some of those pictures. You guys are adorable. The stingray picture was my favorite.
It was cool. Oh yeah, we swim with stingrays, guys. And if you guys were wondering how that's possible, stingrays aren't actually dangerous like that. Everyone thinks stingrays come up and sting you. No, they are far from that. Stingrays are gentle giants. They would not hurt you. Their stinger is located in their tail, and it kind of sticks up like this. And they have a very long tail, so the stinger is not the size of this tail. The reason they have this stinger is because when a stingray eats food, and it goes, ooh, I am full, I need to go digest. What it does is it goes to a sandbar, and it buries underneath the sand, eyes and everything, so they can't see, and they digest underneath the sand. Well, predators know this about stingrays, especially ones that eat stingrays, so they will swim over there and try to eat the stingray. The reason the stingray has a sting is for that purpose. It sticks up out of the sand when they're buried so they don't get stepped on or eaten. And the only way that you can get hurt by a stingray is if you literally step on the stinger yourself or you bump into it yourself. That is how the stinger will get you. We swam with them for 45 minutes and nothing happened except they would swim on top of you because they were like, ooh, do you have food? By the way, another fun fact, stingrays don't feed up. They feed down. So these stingrays know to feed up because it's this area. The trainers have taught them, and these specific stingrays come back to eat because it's guaranteed food. They learned, guaranteed food if I swim up and eat. Stingrays are bottom feeders. They feed at the bottom. They never look at their food. They never see what it looks like. They just smell it and suck it up like a Hoover vacuum.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, little fun facts about stingrays, and that they're not as scary as you think.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you guys had a good time.
Me too.
And welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah. My week was a little bit boring, but I'm still learning French and Hebrew, which is really fun. And
I don't think no, they do know. They know you're learning Hebrew. I was like, wait, I don't think they know that. They do, I think.
I actually finished learning, I call it the alphabets, plural, because there's the regular alphabet, and then there's the vowel indicator alphabet. But they don't usually use those in writing most times. It's rare. So I learned both of those. And I'm starting to learn, more as far as speaking and writing and actual words now. So that's fun. And then French, I'm this close to a full B1 level, which is really, really cool. I'm excited.
That's cool.
So yeah, did that this week. Tested for that, and then yeah, everything else is just same old, same old. So, but anyways, so do you want to start out with the questions, or shall I?
You can.
You want me to? Okay.
Yeah, it's ordered in my list for you first, so you first.
Okay. I'm going to. So we organized it in a way where there's only one harder question for both of us. Because we want it to be a really more fun, lighthearted conversation. So I'm gonna save that for a little bit further because I don't want to start out with a hard question. So I will go from the bottom up. How about funny stories or nicknames? What are some funny stories or nicknames that we have?
I started calling Michelle back in college. And that is my go-to. But sometimes I shorten it because Michelle's long, so sometimes it's just Shelly. Just depends on how I feel in the moment. And then the other I do is more funny for me. If any of the listeners have heard or watchers have heard of Michelin tires, instead of Michelin, it's Michelin. And I don't know why that one happened, but it happened. She's in my phone that way. It's parentheses, Michelin. Michelin.
I love that.
So those are my go-to, my top two.
Yeah.
Or I guess top three, but Michelle and Shelly is together, so.
Yeah. Yours is still to this day Alyssa, and then in parentheses in my phone, the good one. Because trauma.
Let's just say she was.
What?
Yeah. So let's just say she was nervous when I moved in.
Yeah. My first year, there was a person named Alyssa, because, the not so good one. She made my life really hard in a lot of ways that I won't get into because I don't want to gossip about that. But
yeah,
basically, when Alyssa, this one, moved in, I was still getting over that from the year before. So I was like, Alyssa, oh. that's a name that I have learned to not like very much lately. And then she came in and was this angel. And we got along really well. And so yeah, she is Alyssa, the good one.
Little did she know her best friend was me.
Yeah, definitely became you. So yeah, that is her nickname. But I also call her Alyssa, or mostly I just stick with Alyssa most of the time. But as far as funny stories though, there is one that comes to mind immediately, and that is the tale of the cookies. And that
oh dear goodness.
Our elevator was broken.
We lived on the 11th floor.
The 11th floor, yes. And we ordered insomnia cookies, great cookies, highly recommend. And we were waiting for them, and they didn't come. And so we were told that they were on their way. Never got any messages, so we went down to investigate. And I still have a picture in my phone of Alyssa pressed up against the glass like this, looking for the driver or the biker, whatever it was, to bring us our cookies. And we had to go down 11 flights and back up 11 flights of stairs For
those
cookies.
cookies were a reward for those stairs.
Yeah. We had a really fun time. There was a lot more to it, a lot of laughs, but 11 floors for cookies.
And the cookie had something on top, and I think it was a get well soon,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
the funniest part of that, which was like, what?
It was in our order. Like, we got another one. Yeah. It's definitely fun times. So the next one is, or do you want to go?
No, we can go on.
Okay, you don't want to go back. Okay.
That's a good story.
The next question is, what are some things that you admire about the other? I can go first if you would like.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay. I have several things, but I tried to limit it so it wouldn't be the entire episode. So I have a few things that I listed. The first one is I love Alyssa's optimism. She always sees the best for the most part. Both in the situation but also in people. Like as soon as she meets someone, she immediately looks at like who they could be or who they are. You know what I mean? In the best way. And I love that. And I love her voice. I love your singing voice. I think it's beautiful. And I also love how hard you work for not just you, but the people around you. Like you put in so much of an effort to make sure everyone around you is thriving, but also you have such big dreams and you do everything you can to achieve them, which I love.
I try not to cry. Give me a minute, everybody. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm not gonna cry, Mom.
Aww.
I'm getting teary. Okay.
I wish I could give you a hug, but I can't. So.
At least they were happy tears this time, guys.
Yeah.
A couple things that I admire about my Michelle. We'll go deep first. When I first got to NYCDA, I was like really nervous about making friends because in high school I had literally one. And we're not friends anymore to this day. I hope she's doing well. Her name was Elizabeth, and she was like my friend all through high school. But she was pretty much the only one who like solidly like stuck as my friend through that time, which was wonderful, and she was lovely. And so when I got to NYCDA, I was like, cool, fresh start. And then people were not into fresh starts at NYCDA, so I was very nervous. So getting back to what I admire about Michelle is that she didn't judge me right away. She didn't like make an assumption about who I was. Instead, she was just like, no, I love you. It's totally chill. And then we were best friends, but that's because she just kept an open heart. So I love the fact you have an open heart and you don't judge people too quickly and you give everyone time to show you who they are. Another thing I love about you is like your passion and your perseverance in things you believe in. And that's going from our faith of being Christians to your relationship with your dad and your brothers and everybody around you. You are so passionate about making sure that everyone around you is okay. But on top of that, you're passionate about the things that they're passionate about. You're like passionate with them about things, which is great because like everyone needs a cheerleader in their corner, and sometimes people that we meet don't have that, and you are that cheerleader. So I love that, and perseverance wise, you keep going no matter what. Like we had a talk today about some things, and like you made sure you kept going. Mm-hmm. That was very important. and you keep going in our faith, and you keep going when things get hard. So I love that you just don't stop and you just keep it up. And then there's so many things. You're beautiful inside and out, and that's something that I admire deeply as well, because you're not, for people listening or watching or anybody, Michelle's not the type to really care about her appearance. Like, she obviously cares. Like, you care because everyone cares about their appearance, but you're not like, oh my god, like I did this today and now I look this way and I'm unhappy. Like, she's not like that. She wakes up and she's like, I look good today. That's it. And that goes on the inside too, but that's because she has such a strong, like, beautiful inside that it comes outside. So, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna make me cry. We're just gonna sob over here, guys.
Just crying about how much we love each other.
I love you. Thank you.
I love you. Oh yeah, and another thing I love about my Michelle, we say I love you all the time, and people don't say I love you enough, and I love you is such an important thing to say, and you should say it to your friends.
Facts. I agree. we literally end every conversation pretty much with I love you, which I love as well.
We don't forget.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's move on before I actually do cry.
Yeah, don't do that.
So, next question. What have you learned about me that others would be surprised to learn? I will go first with about you.
Okay.
We actually talked about this earlier, but I wrote your many talents, and that I don't think people realize just how talented you are in so many other areas. Like, you have a brilliant voice. I just said I love your voice, right? You're an actress, but you dance, you crochet, you cook, you like are a great photographer. You did my engagement. Like, you have so many talents that people don't realize. And so, yeah, I think that is what people would be the most surprised about. Come on. Oh.
That's so cool.
This is the first time we actually got it to work right. And it's
because this one doesn't work.
Oh no, it's not doing it now.
No, okay.
But love.
Yeah, but love works. Nice.
Wait, does that just have to be in the middle of the screen? Is that what it is? The middle of the screen. That's what it is.
Maybe my thumb is stupid.
Like, put it like over on the curtain. Move your head this way. No? Well, that's annoying.
Oh.
Wait, well, at least we got love. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about this fact for Michelle earlier. It's not as beautifully done as my fact. But this is an interesting fact that not many people know, but Michelle gave me the go-ahead to say it, so I'm allowed to say it. Michelle's asexual.
That's true.
And that's a very interesting fact, and I enjoy knowing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
and it's fun.
What?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's something not many people know, because I love people very differently, but I love them very deeply, so I didn't think it was very like it needed to be out there for everyone to know.
Right.
But
and then
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's fun to like have that fact because we're both in very like committed and healthy relationships. Mm-hmm. So it's fun to talk about like the different aspects of how we love our partners differently. Mm-hmm. Because even like I'm not a person who's asexual, but like we don't talk about that aspect anyway. We talk about how, you know, the things we do for our partners, and there still are like slight differences because of it. Yeah. And it's not like anything having to do with anything sexual at all, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I also love that the man that I am with is so understanding about that. And like he listened to me through it when I explained it to him, and it didn't taint our relationship whatsoever, which I love.
I do too.
A lot of respect for him for that. So
I like him for that.
Yeah, he did good.
Yep, he did. Good job.
Okay, so the next question is, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
The first actress on Broadway to be open about their trichotillomania and to not hide it.
I love that. Snaps. I love that. I feel like mine is kind of cheating because I feel like everybody wants this, and that's just to be remembered for my heart, like how I treat people. You know?
Not everyone wants to be remembered for that, so I like it.
Thank you.
There are not so nice people out there.
That's true.
Yeah. I like that one.
Okay.
Do you want to do my lighthearted?
What?
Oh. I was going to say, do you want to do the lighthearted questions first and then just do the 2 hard ones at the end?
We could. Or, yeah, sure. We can do that.
Okay. Well, then we'll go over to me. Michelle, theme song for your life. What is the theme song for your life?
I've been puzzling over this all day. I wanted to do something funny, but I couldn't think of anything, so I went with more accurate. And I feel like Kelly Clarkson's "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger." There you go.
See, if I was gonna go funny, I'd say "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees. Staying alive, staying alive. But if I'm gonna do like something a bit more accurate to my life, not that wasn't accurate because I am staying alive. That's the way it is. Celine Dion. Because that's the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Ooh, you know what? Another one that I really like. Moana, How Far I'll Go.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because it starts all about water, and that is my life.
Or, the one I like is the beginning song in Up.
I don't remember it very well.
There's no lyrics. It's happy, and then when the woman passes away, Ellie, it's sad. Why is her name Ellie? Ellie haunts me. But yeah, then you just got it. You just got it. It took you a minute, but you got it.
I was trying to hold it in because I didn't want to give it away.
That was funny. It was. You know what? Even if he listened to the podcast, he would think it's funny too. Okay, that's funny.
It's fine.
Yeah. So that one, because she like passes away and then everything is sad. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, that's kind of fitting too, because life is very happy and sad.
Sure.
So. All right. Well, that was that one. Why did it go away? Notes. All right. Funny or embarrassing story between us.
Funny or embarrassing story.
And this is the one we were going to share.
Okay.
So.
Well, I have one for this as well. So, would you like to go first, or do you want me to?
Oh, sure, I'll go.
Okay.
No. No. Okay. Wait. No. You go first.
Okay.
I have to come back to it. Yeah.
There was a time, I won't say when, there was a time where Alyssa got to witness me testing Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Testing, peeing on a stick, if you will. And I was freaking out, and she's like, "No, it's fine. It'll be fine. There's nothing going on." And I'm like, "No, no, no, you don't understand. Like, this very well could have happened, but no, just like usual. She was very much seeing the positive in the situation, and she was right. Nothing happened, but yeah, that was definitely an embarrassing story. But yeah.
Yeah. There was this one time, actually Michelle brought it up today, and so it would be mine. And it's where we were filming this web series, and I won't say names, but I had to go in for a kiss with somebody, and this person just could not keep it together. I mean, he kept cracking up, and we could not get the and I was like, it's because I'm pretty.
I was the director too, so I had to be like, cut over and over and over.
I forgot about it, and then she brought it up, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
I still have a couple of the videos, I think. I deleted most of them, but I do have a couple.
Send them later. I'd love to see them. Also to that person. Yes. To that person, he is still with the girl he was with at that time, so I hope they're doing well. But
yeah, he's such a sweetheart too.
Yeah, I miss him. That was so funny. Okay, and now we have an inside story we share, is the next one. And this one is a little different because it's not like a funny or embarrassing thing that like other people have seen or witnessed. This is like the very deep inside story from our college days.
Yes.
And the reason we say it is our inside story, it's because it's the one we think about most often. So it's not just a funny, embarrassing story, it's everything story.
It's a core memory, if you will.
Sure is. I mean, it'll play back when I die. That's one of those.
Absolutely.
So Michelle and I liked to call ourselves the mothers of our dorm room. And Michelle will tell you why.
You're gonna leave. Okay. Well, there was a night where it all went down. So basically, most of our roommates were out. One was in the hospital, and we didn't know why. We just heard that she was in the hospital.
Wait, she was just gone. And we were
she was just
what
gone.
Is going on?
And we were like, is she okay? Should we go? Do I call
No one would tell us where she was?
Mm-hmm. And no one knew anything. We heard that she collapsed at a party.
Which she didn't, by the way.
Yeah. And while we heard about that, we got an unexpected guest. Who we won't say who it was. But
we'll call him Will.
Will came, and Will was drunk. And Will had a hard time even standing, let alone functioning in any other way. And so he was so drunk that he threw up over our chair, our table, our floor, our bathroom. Okay? And so we, Alyssa and I, spent our night scrubbing floors.
It was a school night.
And the counter, the table, the bathroom, and making sure that this Will was hydrated and did not sleep on his back because he wanted to. He wanted to sleep on his back, and he was so sweet. He really was. He kept saying how nice we were and thanking us for our help and all of that. Mm-hmm. But we spent the night making sure that Will was okay. And then we found out that our roommate, who we love dearly, did not actually collapse, did not have anything. She was just drunk too.
Yeah.
And so we were we made sure that they were good. And also, while that was happening, we had another guest that
We did.
yeah, that was not drunk, but he was someone that I was interested in at the time, and I had heard was interested in me. Okay. So it was very weird. And he came in and spent the night in my room in Alyssa's bed as we made sure everybody got up on time for school the next day. There you go.
Yeah.
That was our
remember
core
we walked into Will's room, which was our other roommate's room, because we had put a mattress on the ground, and Will was wearing this Cookie Monster outfit, by the way. Okay, and you have to know this, because the Cookie Monster was a full head to toe one piece, and this dude hadn't been sick. Okay, so this thing reeked, and it was hot and sweaty. So Will had it like around his waist for bed, and he was on his like stomach, and we had a bucket by the bed. Well, not even bed, by the mattress, because we pulled it off of one of the beds. And so poor Will, he's laying he's laying there. We're like, "Are you okay? Do you need some water?" Okay. You have school tomorrow. Okay. Okay. And then he went to sleep. And Michelle and I still were cleaning up vomit, and the chair was like upholstery. It was like some sort of fabric.
Yeah.
It's like a cushioned chair, and it's a rocking chair.
Yep.
And so I bought Woolite, and Michelle and I, with water and everything, when we scrubbed this chair down, we had to scrub it so many times because it was so sunken into this chair that we were just like,
yeah,
and like scrubbing hard trying to get it out, and it was something
that.
We did, and he was in the bathroom for so long. Bless his heart. By the way, we love Will. To this day,
love him.
I hope he's doing so good because he's a lovely human.
Yeah.
But poor Will just did not handle his alcohol that night.
He was very drunk. And you know what I learned that night? I learned that one of the hardest things in life is trying to convince a drunk person to drink water.
Oh my gosh. You kind of
want to do
the toilet.
Getting them to drink water or have a piece of bread is like, it's... I don't think there is anything harder.
Michelle and I were sober, by the way, because at that point in time I didn't drink. She didn't drink. So that I think out of my life, there's been 3 years I have been like consumed alcohol, and that's it. From like 2020 to 2020, well, kind of partial of 2023, but barely. And then that's been it. So by the time this was happening with Will, I wasn't a drinker, really.
Yeah.
At that point. So it was insane.
Yeah, I knew what to do because I had been around plenty of drunk people before, and I did get a little tipsy at one point, because I had an eating disorder back in the day, where I didn't eat anything for a while, and I drank on that, and it went directly to my blood, but I had never been to that point where, I was throwing up. But I did know what to do. It's just convincing them to absorb the acid with the piece of bread, or, drink a little bit of water instead of, it was a little rough.
That was hard. Also, wait, I think I did drink a little bit in 2019, but not as much as...
Yeah, no, not that much.
Not crazy, but just to fix my previous statement. But I don't drink now. I've been not drinking for like 8 months now.
No, why?
And that's partial thanks to my boyfriend. Not that I was a big drinker, but I'm not. Never
Yeah.
was. But like casual, if you like went out with a friend, I'd get a drink. But since my boyfriend never did and never drinks, I didn't feel comfortable having a drink around him. And then I realized I just don't enjoy it, even like the casual. So I just stopped completely.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, that's that. So
Yeah.
now to another fun one. Your favorite childhood memory.
Okay. Favorite childhood memory.
Mm-hmm.
I did also have the keywords if we wanted to for the one
We can do
story
that at
that
the end.
I'd story.
That can be our game.
Should we
Or
do
be our
that?
ending game.
Okay.
We can.
We'll save that for the end. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
favorite childhood memory for me would probably be, I don't know if you would necessarily consider it childhood, but I wasn't an adult, so I'm going with it. So,
Counts.
when I was about, I want to say I was 14 or 15, I went to Florida with one of my best friends, Jessica. And it was our first time going together. I had been once, and she's a couple years younger than I am. So our lovely host, my cousin, gave us the money to, do whatever we wanted while she was gone at work. And we were shown the trolley system, the bus system to get around, right? And we decided to do that. We decided to go try to get to Walmart, right?
Oh.
Let's just say, not even exaggerating, I think we missed about 12 buses trying to get back because we did not, in fact, know the trolley system. And so we spent like probably 3 hours at a bus stop painting our nails and dancing and having a grand old time. And I loved it. It was so chaotic and so fun, so unexpected. And we called our parents and we were like, we don't know where we are, laughing about it. And my mom's like, what? This is not good. I'm going to call Susan. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. We'll be fine. We'll get back. It's all good. And I'm not concerned at all because I am pretty good at a map. Like with the map, we could figure out our way home. But we were just having fun. And it was great. I absolutely loved that trip. So... what's your
That does
favorite?
sound fun.
Yeah.
Mine is vastly different. All right, so I grew up in the South, so I'm going to say some things here, people. And this is not normal for people, like, up where I am. Like, because you can't have this experience up here. So just keep that in mind. I was a little child, probably like 7, 8. And my grandparents had a pool. And I liked to swim in that pool, and so did my grandma. But my grandma did not like wearing bathing suits because she was big chested, so it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So she'd skinny dip in the pool. And she was my grandma. She changed my diapers. I would skinny dip with her because it was no big deal. My grandpa stayed aside. He was not allowed to join in these activities. It was just me and my grandma. So it was a me and my grandma activity. So one day we were skinny dipping in the pool, and it was an enclosed pool in the backyard. So no one else was seeing it. It was literally the safest, most not wrong, not predatory thing ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Put that out. It was safe. I was good. All right. Put that out there. Because people get crazy about things today. So I just want y'all to know I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. So Granny and I were in the pool. We were swimming. We were having a grand old time. Granny and I just, we sat there and we chit-chat. We just had a great time. And we'd like walk around the pool together. It was fun. So by the time we finished our little chit-chat, whatever we were talking about, it was time to get out. And they had these 2 chairs. They were like fabric chairs, like beach chairs. And we would go sit in the chairs and dry off. Now, Granny always sat down to dry off because she was older than I was. And I was like, I'm going to be like Granny. And I'm going to sit down and dry off. So I sit down and the bottom of my chair falls out. So for viewers, I ended up like this. And for listeners, my legs are in the air and so are my arms, and I am on the tailbone. That is how I ended.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Granny caught me by the arm, and she didn't laugh at first until I started laughing. I was like, I'm fine. And then she started laughing, and we cracked up for so long. Like, we had to go in and tell Grandpa about it because it was so funny. So she like helps me out of the chair, and we finish drying off, and we're just, it was great. It was so funny. And unfortunately, my grandparents have passed away. But every time I saw Granny, we would always bring up that story because it's just one of our most treasured stories that we have together. And so sometimes I just think about that story randomly and I smile because I think of Granny and how much fun we had together. And that is my lovely story of my Granny. Yeah.
I love
that. That is definite favorite childhood memory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're on to the deeper ones.
Are we already?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay.
You do yours first because yours is more deep and then mine is a little happier than that.
Okay. So my question is, what is the toughest decision you've ever had to make in your life?
Should I go first?
Sure.
My toughest decision was breaking up with my ex-boyfriend, which doesn't sound like it would be a tough decision because I wasn't in love with him, but I was nervous because my house was with him. We had moved in together. I didn't have any funds. My job was questionable. I didn't know if I was going to get that back. I had to somehow make it back up here for September 1st. It was just a wild time. But mind you, that ex and I were having so many problems since the beginning of that year. We technically were probably broken up in January. Mm-hmm. Realistically, is when the love was gone. So it had been 6 months since either of us were feeling anything, and possibly more for me, but just I didn't know at the time. Mm-hmm. So I was so scared, and I remember I sat in my room and I told Michelle this. I said, all right, God, listen. And you know it's serious when you say, okay, God, listen, okay? I said, I don't know what's going on here. I'm unhappy. I'm not mad at you. It's not your fault that he's a boo-boo butt and one of the most not nice people. Is not you. It's not you. So I'm gonna break up with him, and I'm not mad. So I broke up with him, and that was so hard because then it was the stress of finding an apartment and stuff. And as easy as it sounds, it was so crazy. It was so hard. Mm-hmm. But you know, on the bright side, like I met my now boyfriend, and it's 8 months later. We hit 8 months on Wednesday, by the way. And I'm so happy. So that tough decision led into a lot of happiness, which kind of is going to go into my question too. But yeah, your turn.
Well, I'm so glad that you made that decision, because I mean, I feel like a lot of people out there would benefit from hearing about that story, because a lot of the times I think we hold ourselves back by not getting out of a bad situation, but then as soon as we get out, we like everything blossoms, you know?
Literally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, all right, I would say my toughest decision I had to make twice in my life, and that sounds cliche, but it's just I made the decision to keep going, quite frankly, because I remember when I went to college before New York at Wayne State, and sorry, I got a little hiccup there.
I was like,
no. I went to college at Wayne State, and I had like basically kind of like a mental breakdown, quite frankly, where everything that I had been through in my life kind of came crumbling down mentally, like on me, where I felt like I was living a lie. I felt like a lot of the trauma that I had been through, I had not spoken about to anybody. And it just built and built and built to the point where I felt like I was living a lie and I felt like I couldn't go on. And so I had an option of I could either tell someone or I could just end it. And I heavily considered both options. And I did end up choosing to confide in one of my best friends. And she told me that I needed to tell my mom and a bunch of other stuff. And I did. I ended up opening up to my mom, and it was the best decision I've ever made. Where I came clean to her about everything, and it was so freeing. So that was the first time I had to make that, and I had to make it again when my mom died back in 2020. But that time it wasn't me considering doing anything like personally. It was I was waiting to die basically. I thought it was the end for me. And so I just sat on the couch for 2 weeks where I didn't do anything. And then I made the decision to not let myself not let the devil like hold me back, because I felt like he was very much using what happened to keep me from going forward. You know what I mean? And so I chose to continue. And yeah.
And then she met me.
I met you before the second one, but yes.
That's true. That's very true. I'm the reason you're here. No, I was joking with Michelle earlier though, which you guys don't see us joke like we do a lot with each other, because we can like joke really far with each other. We can take things really far with each other. We know it's a joke. But this is funny because I was like, I'm the reason you're here. Mm-hmm, it's me. You knew that I would just be so sad and I just couldn't live anymore.
That was it.
Yep.
That was the reason. You know, I was sitting there and 2 weeks went by and I was like, Alyssa would just crumble without me here, so I need to get up.
Very true.
That's it. And then I got up. So it was all to Alyssa.
Yep.
I love you.
I love you too. And then I guess that goes to mine, which is how do you define happiness?
You had a beautiful definition of this earlier that I want to tag team.
You can tag team it.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Okay. For happiness, I think happiness is loving who you are and being comfortable in your own skin, whichever way that looks for you. If that's getting lip filler because you feel better, having a bigger upper lip than mine, then totally do that because it makes you happy and that's how you enjoy being in your body. If you have short hair like me and you like to have short hair, then great, do it, love it. As long as you are happy and comfortable in your body. I think another part of being happy or another happiness is not only just loving yourself physically, but loving yourself mentally, taking care of your mental health, making sure that you're okay, eating right, getting enough sleep. Believe it or not, that really does play into your own happiness. And another very important factor is knowing that you can be happy on your own.
Yeah.
You don't need anyone to make you happy. You don't need a man, you don't need a friend, you don't need a mom or dad. You literally just need yourself to be happy. And luckily for me in my life, I have Michelle and I have wonderful parents. Then I have my boyfriend who's great. These people lead
Mm-hmm.
a happy life, and so their happiness kind of infects my happiness, and we're all happy together, and that's why we're still together. It's why I still have Michelle as my best friend, because she makes me happy as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that is another thing with happiness. If someone is not aiding to your happiness, out the door, because
Mm-hmm.
there's no way you're going to be happy if someone is not trying to be supportive of you.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that goes back to also being happy on your own, because you can't be happy with other people unless you're happy by yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like not letting your situation define you.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the time we can get wrapped up in our situations and feel like everything's hopeless, like nothing's gonna change and all of that, which I have a really cool quote to talk about in a little bit. But just realizing that even in the lowest lows, like there are still good things going on. And like finding peace within yourself and like who you are and what you're doing to change that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But that reminds me of this quote that I read this book recently. And for the high fantasy fans out there, if you've ever heard of the Stormlight Archives, highly recommend. Love it. I read the fourth book. And I will not spoil it with this quote, I don't think, because it's not a direct quote. It's more of a summary. But there's someone in there was talking about how while everything feels hopeless, life is very much a it's constantly changing. So things may seem like they're going to get worse, and they will. Things will get worse, but then they get better, and then they get worse, and then they get better, and then they get worse, and then they get better. Like, and he said, I can't promise you that there will always be sunshine, but there will be sunshine again. And I love that because it's so true. So I think that when it comes to happiness and taking that next step, choosing to continue, it's like remembering that things always get better is a huge component in happiness.
Oh, that was really good.
Thank you.
Gotta read that book.
It was really great. Cannot take credit
Sounds
for it
really good.
whatsoever, but it was really great.
Well, why not? That was our questions.
Okay,
Crazy.
so
now
before we end the episode, we decided for our game this week, for the question of an inside story we share. I would like to reiterate.
This is very inside and very share, and no one else knows it except my mom.
I cannot say what the story is.
No.
Unless maybe someone guesses it. So, we decided we're going to say a few keywords here and see if any of you can guess what the story is. And if you guess it, we will tell you. Mm-hmm. But if not, it remains an inside story.
And you can reach out to us on our Instagram, on our even in the Q&A section after this. Mm-hmm. I can put up another question. I think I can put multiple, mm-hmm. or whoever edits it can put multiple. So
yeah. Okay, so the keywords are boyfriend, anniversary, best friend, surprise. Mm-hmm. Those are the words. Let's see if anybody can unravel the secret.
And if you need to hear them again, rewind the video. We're not repeating. That's all you get.
That's all you get.
Those 4 words. That's it.
So, this is fun. I
like
this
one. Yeah. I hope you figure it out, but I also kind of hope that you don't at the same time.
Yeah. Inside secret.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And if you do figure it out, welcome to the inside story.
Mm-hmm.
You now have an inside story with podcast hosts, and that's pretty cool.
Pretty darn cool.
And I think there's some factors in some of our other episodes that will help you figure out our 4-word story here.
There may be some clues, you know.
There may be some clues.
Yeah.
Accidentally, because we just thought of this today, but I think there are a couple clues, if I recall, that might help you find it out. Mm-hmm.
I know we definitely talked about it, but I'm not sure if they made the cut. So
I don't know. You might have to go back and re-listen to our episodes to figure it out.
All right, so that was a fun episode. I really enjoyed this.
Me too.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yes.
And please like or subscribe to us. I don't know what's available on this platform, but I will do my best to get these uploaded on YouTube again. I haven't been doing that, and I'm so sorry, but I will get there.
She has been busy, but she has my login information to this, so she can get the videos. So don't worry, they're coming.
Yeah,
just takes a while.
I will do my best to get them up either this week or the next week. They will all be up either this week or next week. So please also comment in the message box your ideas about what the secret could be. If you have any ideas for any future episodes that you would like us to talk about, we will definitely get to them and turn them into episodes. We would love that. So thank you so much. We love you guys. Have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.